Chacha Vauzz is officially a Major League Baseball player, finally getting his call up at the end of last episode. And in his first game up here with the St. Louis Cardinals, he would get his first hit, first pitch swinging, knocking a double into the right field gap. Just a couple at-bats later, he would have his first home run, a no-doubter, sending it to the right field seats. Chacha Vauzz with a historic first game here with the St. Louis Cardinals, including that double home run and a stolen base. The only unfortunate thing for Chacha Vauzz is that, well, the Cardinals didn't win this game. Milwaukee Brewers just came ready to play and took it 3-2, but we have a couple more games to try to get some revenge. And they also happen to be the team at the top here of the National League Central. And if we happen to win these next two games, we could see ourselves climb from 4th all the way up to the top. As we once again head out here in Milwaukee, we're trying to get a game back on the Brewers. Starting bottom of the first, we're out in the field. Now we'll talk a little bit about the batting situation when we get to that point, but for now, Bryce Terang, we're looking to get him out at first. Be the first put out of this game with an 0-2 count, no one on. And it will be a tapper over to Chacha, who will look to drive in on it and make a clean throw over to first, record that first out of this game. As we now jump over to top of the second, 2 outs, no one on for Chacha. He was batting leadoff last game, now batting 7th. Interesting switch as he fouls that one off. Oh, and Chacha, I believe that's going to be his first MLB strikeout at the high fastball. Peralta is unhittable. Well, we definitely didn't hit him on that pitch. We'll look to get our hits going a little bit later then. Bottom of the third, we are back out here on the field with a 1-1 ball game. Runner on here for Zach McKinstry. 2-2 count, though nobody out, so we're looking to turn a double play. Missed out on our one chance to do that in the previous game. This one will be a tapper. Chacha will get the lead runner, but will not be in time to turn 2. But how about a dynamic challenge then coming off of that? Once again with no one on here for Chacha Vauzz, but we keep having something to do per inning. 1-1 game, take the first pitch and reach. Why not? We'll stick with that. Peralta still on the mound here, pitch number 60, and we are sitting with a high fastball in the zone. Oh, and Chacha stares at the one, clipping the corner. Back-to-back strikeouts. Peralta throws fire. Well, I don't think that thing was pumping near 100, but it was well placed. So definitely a humbling experience so far in game 2 for Chacha Vauzz. Garrett Mitchell stepping up to bat. No one on here. These pitchers are pitching well. Just 1 run apiece. And a tapper again. Chacha will step in on this one. Look to make another throw to first, recording yet another inning starting out. As we go to top of the 6th, 2-1 here for Chacha Vauzz, as new pitcher has stepped up to the mound here. His first pitch facing Chacha Vauzz, batting from the left side of the plate. And that one is well fouled. That one's not going to be, but it will land in center field. Runner is headed home. Safe at the plate. Chacha with the RBI single, giving the St. Louis Cardinals the lead. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. And for Nolan Gorman, who we took his spot at second, he'll be batting DH in this one. Only 218, no chance to steal, so Chacha not getting any extra steps. We'll have to pump his brakes here. Infield fly? Hate to tell you, that's definitely not in the infield. Shallow right for sure. Michael Hellman now stepping up, another guy who potentially we could take his spot. Might still look to move to short, might still look for a trade. You guys let Chacha Vauzz know what you want to see. That will be a walk, loading the bases as we get our top hitter to the plate. Michael Ciani. He's batting 300, 3 for 3 in this game. Vauzz, he wants to take that extra step, but he won't. Wait for a solid hit. Not exactly solid. He'll be out at second to get out of the jam. But Chacha Vauzz, he does give the St. Louis Cardinals that lead with the RBI single. Jumping to bottom of the 7th here. No one on, one out for Pavin Smith. Sonny Gray, he's still on the mound for our Cardinal. Pitch number 75. This time, Chacha's going to have to stretch over. We'll cut it off in the gap, and we'll be well ahead of the runner. Clean play so far out in the field. Now we're just looking to hopefully find some insurance here late on Chacha. 1 for 3 on the day. He's got a runner on first, nobody out. Wait for his pitch here. And that one will be counted as a ball, though was definitely in the zone. Good crack there. We'll send it through the infield. No RBI this time, but a second single on the day puts 2 runners on with nobody out for St. Louis. And for Gorman, who's 0 for on this day, with a walk he could really use with a hit here. Doesn't need to be showed up by Chacha Vauzz. That one will be a tapper. Pitcher coming in to try to make the out at first and will be well ahead of schedule. So Gorman out, but does advance both runners now in scoring position for Michael Hellman. He could also use a hit. He's batting .248 here, but 0 for on the day. Chacha Vauzz. He's going to have to hold up here as that ball is flying deep left field and is well gone. Lady up there just snagged that one hand, a 3-run shot. Will give St. Louis all of the extra runs they were looking for here. Now a 5-1 lead for the Cardinal. Top of the 8th. In fact, we'll have a chance as we get to top of the 9th to even extend that lead, perhaps with a runner on. Chacha looking for a 3rd hit. Though he gets a little too far under that one. First pitch swinging is a pop-up, maybe about 35 feet from the plate. But ultimately, this game will go to the Cardinals, who tack on one more run late on and take this game 6-1, tying up the series 1-1, which puts us level on record. One more win and we'll be jumping in front of the Milwaukee Brewers. So as we turn then to game 3, bottom of the 1st, Zach Littell, he's on the mound facing Bryce Terang. Haven't seen him do too much in these series, but he's got a 2-1 count ahead of it. Now, we'll still look to get him out at first. That time, a little bit more smoke behind the hit, but Chacha gets in front of it. And the throw will sit Terang down. How about we get some bats going early here? 2 strikeouts to start the last game, though followed by 2 hits. Facing Zach Gallen. 1 on here for Chacha. Nobody out. And he'll send that one to first base coach. And getting a piece of that one, though, rolls over to second. Chacha, though, will leg it out, turning into a fielder's choice there, getting the man with no speed on the bases. Will not count as a hit, though, for Chacha Vauzz. Nolan Gorman, a 9-game hitting streak, so he got one at some point in that last game. Not that we got to see it. Vauzz with an extra step. Now he's gone, as that one will make it to the outfield. Chacha, he's got a dig here for 3rd with a bad jump, but the throw's a little off. He'll go from 1st to 3rd on the single through the infield. We'll have our second base partner to thank for that now, Michael Hellman. Solid hit here. That could get Chacha home. Doesn't necessarily have to be a hit, but at least get this ball in play. Vauzz takes an extra step, just getting a little bit closer. That ball will be down in the dirt, but bouncing into the catcher's mitt. Vauzz back to 3rd. See if this pitch is any better than for Chacha and the St. Louis Cardinals. And Hellman popping this one up. Vauzz will get back over to 3rd. No chance to go from there. So then up to Ciani then, who once again is leading off this game. So Vauzz only had the 1 chance to lead off. Runners on the corners. Chance to score early on in this game. And there's a pop-up that'll just go to about exactly where the first baseman was standing. Stranding to the St. Louis Cardinals remain tied up here with the Brewers. To bottom of the third we go then. A lot of action happening in these games. Bryce Terang, we'll see you once again here. 0 for 9 with an RBI, though, in this series. We'll look to make that 0 for 10. As Littell with the pitch. Chacha, he's going to have to cover the gap here. Does get back in time. And the throw is a good enough throw. A little awkward having to flip that mid upside down, but it records a final out of the third. And takes us to, once again, the very next inning. Top of the fourth, Chacha Vauzz. 1 out, no one on. Gallen pitching a good game here. That scoreboard is at 0. Taking a strike, bottom of the zone. And Chacha with the knuckle curve. So now we got to watch out for the knuckle curve as well as the 12-6 below the zone. Just looks like a meatball until it dips. But we'll follow that with a dynamic challenge then, as Milwaukee have opened up a 3-run lead. 2 on here for Chacha Vauzz, and we would love to drive in these runners, get ourselves back in this game. 1 out, 2 on for Chacha Vauzz. And it's the knuckle curve again. Hitting a good piece of that one. Are you kidding me, though? A perfect hit is speared by the shortstop, and Chacha Vauzz is retired. Man, that should have at least been into the gap, scoring 1. We'll go to top of the 8th then. No one on this time for Chacha. Jared Koenig on the mound. And Vauzz will get a piece of that 95 sinker. And gets another piece, a little bit more. Right fielder tracks back, though, and Vauzz 0 for 4 on the day. Might be his first no-hit appearance in the major leagues as we head mid-8. But we do have our leadoff hitter stepping up to bat here, top of the 9th. We'll send that over to short. They need a double play to win, but they will not have both. Fielder's choice. Well, then Wilson Contreras, who's 2 for 4 in this one with a home run. Home run would be a walk-off, as we actually now have 2 on the bases. Solid hit here, dumping down. 98 speed, gonna dig for home. And we will have a tie game, top of the 9th, thanks to Wilson Contreras. And now Chacha with a dynamic challenge, top of the 10th. We could give ourselves a lead here. 1 out. We need to drive in the go-ahead run. Get a hit here. Make sure we don't go 0 for against Aaron Bummer. And Chacha will get a piece of that ball into the outfield. Runner digging for home. And the throw is off. Chacha gives the St. Louis Cardinals a extra inning lead. And Contreras, who really got us to this point, he's hyped for it. Nolan Gorman 2 for 4 in this game. Chacha not able to get an extra lead here, so no stealing opportunity. As that's speared by the pitcher. Well, I'm glad we didn't steal. But it's a real bummer then that we didn't get a chance to get a stolen base and that hit was taken away. Chacha now gets his extra step. Bummer looking his way. Though he's going home, Chacha, he's going to second, and he will have the bag without being contested. He's stand-up steal for Vauzz. Once again, not able to get any extended lead here, so no stealing. As that one is popped up, well, might as well keep running because there's 2 outs. Can run our way to the dugout to grab our fielding gear. As we do take the lead here, top of the 10th. Now need to put this game away in the bottom. And it'll be with 2 outs. Bryce Terang stepping up to bat. 0-1 count. Jojo Romero pitching to him. His pitch number 12 will be a tapper over to short. Short throws to first, and we take the game. St. Louis Cardinals come back in this one late on thanks to Wilson Contreras. And then Chacha Vauzz with the go-ahead hit in the top of the 10th. And with that win, it does put the Cardinals on top here, 18-14. We'll see, though, as we move into our next series if we can stay atop this group. But now that we are up here at the majors, Chacha Vauzz, he's going to work on continuing to improve a little bit more of his power game. And that will send us from a 72 up to a 73. Over Chacha Vauzz, he is still waiting to make his first home game appearance. We stay on the road, now going to Cincinnati, facing the Reds, who are bottom of our division. Brady Singer, the pitcher. And Chacha's a bit ahead of that 84 slider. Not too far ahead of that one, though. Perfect, not speared by the shortstop, and Chacha batting second. Gets a runner on here for the St. Louis Cardinals. Either we travel well, or the fans in Cincinnati like themselves a little bit of some Chacha Vauzz, who has an extra step here. Singer checking over his shoulder, though, going home. And that one is hit over towards third. And it's a good news Chacha tried to steal there. That takes away the double play. Alec Burleson, though, is retired. Nolan Gorman will step up to bat, batting 229. Chacha Vauzz 180 feet away. No extra lead this time. That one's popped up. Chacha will just take a nice jog on towards the plate, but will be a fly out in right field. The one able to capitalize on some early play at the plate. We'll move then to top of the third. One on here for Chacha, though 2 outs. Pitching doing well early on in these games. And Chacha, he tried to turn on that inside pitch. And I think Singer has a plan. Everything is going to be low inside. We'll see if that changes here. No, they went back to that sinker inside. Chacha fouls it off. He'll foul off a couple more pitches. Pitch number 6 here, still with an 0-2 count. And Vauzz, that one was about to hit you. Why are you swinging at it? I guess it just became too much of a thing. He had to keep going until he got a hit. Instead, he gets struck out. We'll follow that up with a dynamic challenge as 2 are in scoring position. Top of the 5th. 2 outs in this one. Get a double or better, get a token, drive in 1 or more runs. I mean, that's more of what we're looking to do here. But they're going to look to go home if we do get a nice hit into the outfield. So let's go for the token here. Singer's still on the mound. And that slider came in so slow, Chacha was a mile ahead of it. I think the biggest thing here is Chacha just needs to slow things down a bit. 0-2 count and everything is coming in off speed. Gets a piece of that 92 sinker, though. And again, our dude is battling up to pitch 7 of this at-bat. 0-2 count still. Chacha, he takes the inside slider. And does anyone know what the longest at-bat is? We're up to 9 pitches here. Count to 2-2. And Chacha gets a piece, but it's only a piece. Rolls it to first and out. What an at-bat, though, running up the count and hopefully getting Singer out of this game. As we move then to top of the 7th, that would seem to be the case. New pitcher on the mound here as we've opened up a 4-run lead. Chacha hasn't done much outside of that early inning hit. This time, though, he will have a much shorter at-bat as he flies out directly to left field. So just a 1-hit day, and we're trying to make sure that the Reds do not get one more hit here, bottom of the 7th. O'Hearn stepping up to bat with the bases juiced. 2 outs, 0-2 count, force out at any bag. And for Johnny Steffen, we could really use with a good pitch here. That will just be a roller then over to Chacha, who has a hop throw. Wasn't ready for it, but we come in clutch to keep those runs off the board. 4-2, Cardinals still in front. In fact, this game comes down to Elly De La Cruz, who's 1 for 4 in this game, and he's the player that Chacha Vauzz has modeled his game around, or tried his best to model his game around. He's got 2 on. Jojo Romero trying to close out this game. And that one will take a fly into center field and down. 1 run will score, making this a 1-run game. Elly De La Cruz with a single. Can Ryan O'Hearn be the man again here? 4-3, bottom of the 9th, 2 on, 2 out. It's a full count. This could be the final pitch here. Runners go, as that one will take a fly into right field, but it will not touch down. St. Louis holds on here in Cincinnati. They take game one of the 3-game series, 4-3. Now as we jump into the second game, looks like we got an evening game here. Andrew Abbott on the mound. And Chacha, he had one he likes, but he just gets a tiny piece of it. And jammed inside, but bloops down in center. Vauzz with a hit, batting leadoff again here for the St. Louis Cardinals. So his bat really is moving up and down this order. He's batted first, second, he's batted seventh. Lars Nootbaar behind, batting .259. And once again, no chance for that extra lead. So Vauzz will sit here, as that one is down in the dirt. Definitely could have stolen on this one. Don't know why he didn't let me. Yes, that's just how it is sometimes here in the major leagues. Vauzz now gets that extra step. Pitcher's going to throw his way, but he is back in time. That's not going to stop Chacha Vauzz. He'll go right back to that extra step. Pitcher, he's going home. Vauzz is looking to steal. Rolling that one into the outfield. Vauzz turns towards third and will be in. Going from first to third, putting a runner in scoring position in the top of the first for Ivan Herrera. Would love to find a run early on here. Vauzz, he's getting that extra step. That one's going to take a fly into left field, going back, and off the top of the wall and gone. A 3-run shot. The third batter of the game gives the St. Louis Cardinals a 3-run lead here in Cincinnati. In fact, they weren't done there. As we move to the bottom of the first, one more run would score for the Cardinals. Moving up, Jake Fraley here, their leadoff batter. 1-2 count as we have Palante on the mound. That's going to be a hit towards the gap. Chacha, though, a few steps over will be no problem. Fielding, staying clean. And that's what we want to see from Chacha Vauzz. He's got a 900 OPS. Really good in his early stages. Here, though, fouling off that four-seamer down the middle. Oh, and Chacha this time. He swings at the high outside fastball. Striking out a good bit here up in the majors, but he's also still putting together some really good hits at the same time. When we have a 4-0 lead, perhaps you could be swinging for the fences a little bit more. Bottom of the second, runner on second for Will Benson. He's got an 0-2 count, one out in this inning. Not going to be able to turn a double play, but we could look to get him out here at first as Chacha has to dig in on this one to make sure that throw is ahead of schedule. Giving us 2 outs, though, runner advances to third. And in fact, that run and several others will score. We've got another 4-3 ball game here. Top of the fifth. Abbott, only pitch number 58 here, will be high. That one, though, was in a good spot to hit. Chacha, though, just a little bit early on it. And it will be an out at first. As we jump into our next batting appearance, it's top of the seventh. In Cincinnati, they've taken the lead. So a new pitcher for us to face. That one is going to be easy to lay off of. We won't lay off of that one, though. A diving stop from short, and the out is made. Chacha not able to run that one out. But it looks like there is a problem with Ellie De La Cruz on that play, and that is really unfortunate. Well, we will have a dynamic challenge coming off of that injury. Still really unfortunate, but top of the ninth, we've got a tie game here. Chacha Vauzz, he represents the go-ahead run. So we got to get into scoring range here against Iglesias. Vauzz. That's a high fastball, but he goes swinging, just getting under it and sending it foul. And 3 foul balls later, it's an 0-2 count here for Chacha Vauzz. Another foul ball on Iglesias. And popping that one up, it's traveling slowly to right field. We'll send this one then to bottom of the ninth, where we need our defense against Fraley, Martinez, and Lofton. Or in fact, apparently we're going to get right on through the bottom of the ninth as nothing crazy happens. Vauzz taking an extra step here, trying to get 90 feet away. He's gone as that one is in the dirt. And we'll get that uniform a little bit dirty here, sliding into third before there was any throw attempted. But Vauzz, he takes another base here. Once again, he's going to get a little bit closer. Just need a hit in play here. And we'll be looking for a tag up. Vauzz, though, he's not going to run on that one. I know we said we just need a hit in play, but that one seemed a little bit too shallow even for Chacha Vauzz. So Herrera then, with a home run earlier this game in the first inning, we could use with something similar right here. Vauzz again with that extra step. As that one is in play, Vauzz, he's going to go on this one. Going into home, and the throw is just off the plate. Vauzz will tap it as he slides on in, giving the St. Louis Cardinals an extra inning lead. It will come down to Dubon as he's got 2 on. 0-1 count, 2 outs here, bottom of the 10th. That will be hit sharply over towards short, and the out is made at second. Cardinal will take this series, winning the first 2 games. We still got 1 more to go through here, looking to sweep the Reds at the bottom of the Central Division. And we'll be starting off with a dynamic challenge. Batting 6th now in the order. So top of the second, we've got a runner on second. We're looking for a ribby here. Connor Phillips on the mound. 0-0 ball game. And he left us one to hit, but just ahead of it is Chacha. Not going to be ahead of that one, though. Slicing down in left field to the corner. Runner will score, and Chacha will slide in ahead of the throw. An RBI here in the top of the second gives the Cardinals a lead. And I believe that's also his first double of the episode. I could be wrong. We might have had one before, but it just hasn't been all too common. A lot of singles. As Chacha goes late, gonna have to hold up here at third. Not gonna push for home there as that one was just rolled over to first. But it does put another runner 90 feet away for Aaron Shunk. Batting .343. Vauzz gets just a step closer to the plate. And that one will get down in left. Chacha reaches. And that gives the St. Louis Cardinals a 2-run lead here, top of the second. Clean hit there from Shunk. As we go to then bottom of the third. Dubon, he's leading off. Mike Soroka on the mound here for our St. Louis Cardinals. Chacha waiting for that hit to send it right over to him. Few steps in. And he's not waiting around. He's making that out as quickly as he can. I do have to appreciate how clean the play in the field has been this episode. Knock on wood, cross your fingers, that remains the case. Top of the fourth, we're back up to bat. Connor Phillips gives us one to hit. Chacha sends that one, though, well foul. But Chacha being patient on this one, swinging at the ones in the zone, not swinging at the ones outside the zone. 2-2 count. But he swings at the high fastball. They just look too good for Chacha Vauzz. That'll be another strikeout. He's seemingly been good for almost one of those a game here today. As we move to bottom of the fourth, the Reds actually tied this game up. Spencer Steer, he's trying to put them ahead with a runner on second. Only 1 out. It's a 1-1 count here for Soroka. Pitch number 46. That one will be a dribbler over to Chacha. Did take a little bit of an awkward bounce, but he collects. And he'll have the out at first. The runner goes to third. We'll have a dynamic challenge then to follow, with runners in scoring position for Chacha Vauzz. Man on the corners. This game still sitting 2-2. I would love to drive in 1 or more here. Give ourselves that lead back. It's Connor Phillips still going here, top of the 6th. Pitch number 73. A lot of off speed. We'll sit on that one, though. And Chacha, he tried to go inside out, but that ball just hangs in the air a bit too long. Will not score a single runner. And this game stays tied as we move on through the middle 6. In fact, as we move to bottom of the 7th, we need to do some defense here against Keith Martinez. 2 on for him, 2 outs, 1-2 count. Game still tied up here at 2 apiece. Liberatore on the mound. And that'll be a soft hit ball. Chacha once again taking a few steps in. Collecting himself this time, but the throw will still be in time. And one more dynamic challenge at the plate here today, perhaps, as we have taken a lead. We're looking for some insurance here. Top of the 8th. Missed our chance at the RBI last time. Now Sam Mole will be sending us a pitch. With runners at first and second. Vauzz a little bit ahead of that sinker. And 2 foul balls, that strikes low in the zone. Mole gives us another one. Oh, and another one. Low. Chacha couldn't get a piece. But he's done great today running up pitch counts. Unfortunately, we don't get the insurance we were looking for. But we do still hold that lead. Bottom of the 8th, looking to turn a double play as Candelario is stepping up to bat. Once again, we've got Steven on the mound. 3-2 ball game. No 1 out, 0-1 count. Need a double play ball here. And that one will be sent over to short. Chacha covers second. And the throw will be an easy one for Chacha Vauzz. Couple more outs. And this game comes down to Nick Lofton as we do extend our lead. Top of the 9th. Chacha didn't have a chance to bat there. But 4-2 with 2 outs, 0-1 count, runner on first. Romero trying to put this game away, and that ball will fly all of about a foot in front of the plate, maybe 2, as we sweep the Reds, keeping ourselves atop the National League Central. And in fact, we have slightly grown our lead at the top of the Central. Pirates behind us. But we have a 21-14 record compared to their 19-16. But it's time we head home to St. Louis for our first game in front of the home crowd. And for Chacha Vauzz, he would love to make this a memorable first game in St. Louis. Facing the Padres, though, who do have a slightly better record than us, 22-13. We are on a 5-game winning streak, looking to keep that alive. And we'll step up to bat here, bottom of the 1st. We're not batting early on in this count here. We're actually batting 6. 2 outs, 1 on, though, here for Chacha Vauzz, as we've already taken a 2-run lead. And he left us one down the middle, but it will sweep to that right field foul net. And this one is going to go almost the opposite direction. Chacha with a liner through the infield will be a single in his first at-bat in St. Louis. Can you get your butt out of the way? Or actually, I'm sorry there, that wasn't you. It was a Padres player. That makes a little bit more sense. But a single then for Chacha Vauzz. Though an 0-2 count here for Pages. Though he will get a little piece of it. Fortunately, it's still going to be out, not able to get it by the first baseman. So 2 runners stranded as 2 runners do score here for the Cardinals in the first inning. It's these hot starts I would love to just continue stacking up. And in fact, as we go bottom of the 2nd, we've scored 3 more. Chacha Vauzz, he's batting .310, and he's got 2 runners on. We'll love to bring them home here. Need a good hit into the outfield. 2 outs, though. And Vauzz right back down the middle. No speed, though, but looking to dig home. And ahead of the throw, Vauzz with another RBI. This time coming off of yet another single. He's just been a single machine. Now, Pedro, can we get a better hit from you this time? Batting 139? Might not. But you Darvish, he's already had to check into this game in the 2nd. Vauzz will be in, but Pedro will not. So Pedro keeps ruining our fun out here. As we move to top of the 3rd, we'll see some action out on the field. Ethan Salas stepping up to bat. Sonny Gray, he's on the mound for us with a 6-run lead. Top of the 3rd. That will be hard hit, but still will be a ground out to Chacha Vauzz as he'll make that throw to first. But how about we look to get something done at the plate here that's not just a single. So I wouldn't be against it. Chacha Vauzz, he looks good on that big board. here in St. Louis, finally. And it is Yu Darvish still on the mound here. Padres, they do find one run. Chacha leading off. And he'll get another piece of one. Blocked by second, but we'll run this one out. And that we will still take. Another single for Chacha Vauzz, as they do not count that as an error. And even better, Pedro here can't end the inning for us. He can, however, hit us into a double play. So we got to make sure that we take that option off the board. Chacha with his extra step. Darvish looking his way, but doesn't throw his way. A bouncer, and Chacha will indeed take away the double play. Still getting the out at first. He just seems to be a man who can move people over, not exactly get them on running. Chacha with another extra step here, this time at second. Darvish checking him, but will not go his way as that one is popped up. And Chacha, you've got to get back to second. You will. I feel like he definitely could have thrown out Chacha, but he didn't. We appreciate that, Tatis. So instead then for Michael Hellman. Bottom of the fifth, Chacha, he's in scoring position. No chance to get an extra step here, so we wait. Darvish with the pitch. That one is going to be an awkward little scoop. That will fly out shallow right field. Second tracks back to end the inning. But we do still hold on to that 5-run lead as we step up to bat here. 3 for 3 on the day with 3 straight singles. Yu Darvish going with a long relief here. Chacha will sit on that high fastball finally. And send that one into right field. And over his head. The diving effort will not be enough. Chacha, he's digging for third, and he will be in with a stand-up triple. Chacha Vauzz just getting that one over the top of the right fielder's mitt. But unfortunately for Chacha, it's Pedro behind who's 0 for 3 with 3 straight ground outs to first base. And it's 2 outs here, so he needs to get a hit if we're to find our 7th run. But he's going to send it right back over into out territory. Get us someone else to hit behind Chacha, will ya? We'll hear some fireworks sound off as we do still take this game here in St. Louis. Cardinals take a 1-0 series lead on the Padres and extend that winning streak to 6. Same amount of runs they had against San Diego. But coming off a 4 for 4 day, Chacha Vauzz, he's batting high in the 300s. Might be the highest average on the team right now. As he's stepping up to bat here, bottom of the first. He does have a runner on and nobody out. Batting second, and it's a pop-up on pitch number 1. Well, that's going to be the first out on Chacha in a little over a game. Guess you can't always get the big hits, or at least the consistent hits. We'll jump straight on to bottom of the third as Padres, they've actually opened up a lead here. 2-0. And he left one for Chacha to hit. Good timing, good contact, and that will fall down in the gap. Chacha, though, will pull up here at second with a stand-up double. Finally showing a little bit of some extra base power here. But we are still waiting for his second home run. We do have a new bat behind Chacha on this one. It is Herrera. So the manager listening to Chacha Vauzz, that seems to be a new thing. Taking that extra step. Chacha, he's going to look for third as that one is hit. Landing not down? That's really unfortunate. I thought that bounced into the glove. It did not. He scoops underneath it and will be a double play to end the inning. We then move to fourth here with a runner on second for the Padres. It's Diaz. Patel on the mound for us. No chance at the double play here. And it will be a bouncer over to Chacha, who will come on in and make a quick out. The runner goes to third. But we'll do our job defensively and get out of that inning. Bottom of the sixth now. Runner on for Chacha, but we are still without a run. It'll be a great time for Chacha to get a home run in front of his new crowd. As the runner goes, we swing with a miss. Runner does take second. And now with the runner in scoring position, it slightly changes our approach here. Maybe not home run ball, but just get some solid contact into the outfield. Don't have to swing at that at all. It looked like it came off his hand a little awkwardly. But Chacha, he's once again battling here. Count up to 2-2 with pitch number 6. Looking to get another hit, and that one he will. Going back right field, though, this time. Fielder will get underneath it. No diving effort goes amiss. Runner, though, does move to third. Fortunately, though, that runner does not score. Padres tack one on. It's 3-0 here, bottom of the 8th. Matsui on the mound, and Chacha, he tried to turn on another inside pitch. And getting just a little bit too underneath that one, a pop-up about a foot to the right of the first baseman. Not how we wanted to close out this game at the plate. But the winning streak is snapped there at Game 7. Padres take Game 2, tying up this series 1-1 with a 3-0 win in St. Louis. That will take us into the final game of our episode. Joe Musgrove on the mound, and Chacha getting another piece of these. And get another piece. This time it's at least in play. Chacha retired here, bottom of the first, batting leadoff for the St. Louis Cardinals in this game. So definitely going all over the place, but we do have dynamic challenge. Bottom of the second, we've taken a lead here against Musgrove. Now we're looking to add on some more. Hit a double or better, drive in a run or more. We're going to go with a run or more. That's the bigger thing for us in this one. Just extend that lead, especially with 2 outs in the inning. And Chacha, he'll send it in between the third and shortstop gap. Only an exit velo of 95, but no chance for either of those defenders to make a play on that one. That gives the Cardinals a 3-run lead then, with runners still on for Lars Nootbaar, batting .260. And for Vauzz, no chance to steal, but still going to get that extra step or 2 here on Musgrove. Might be trying to distract him, as that one will take a fly. Chacha, he's going to dig for third, and he's in safely. As they did throw home, that was what he was banking on. We take a 4-0 lead. And now for Herrera, who's batted pretty well so far, at least from our time with him batting behind us. Runners on the corner, 3-1 count. That one is in play over to third, who will make the final out at second. Chacha not able to run home with it to count. But we do extend that lead, make it 4-0. That doesn't mean the Padres are going to sit down. We move to top of the 4th, and they've scored 2. Davis Schneider, he's stepping up to bat with a runner on first. 1 out, 1-1 count. It's double play time here. Quinn Matthews on the mound for us. And laying down the bunt, Chacha, he's going to help cover. And we do get one. The sacrifice moves the runner over, but they will not be able to capitalize on it. So instead, we move to bottom of the 4th. Chacha leading off the inning here. Yu Darvish back on the mound. And we'll sit on that high fastball. Once again, Chacha, he's running up the count. Already at pitch number 4 here. 2-2. And make that a full count. 3-2. Is this going to be Chacha's first walk up at the majors? See what Darvish gives us. One to hit down the middle, and that one is sent foul. We'll go again here, Darvish. What you got for us? Another one down the middle. Chacha will run up the pitch count. Will not land. And no one would get anything done either in that inning. So moving on then to top of the 5th. Runner on for Fernando Tatis Jr. Really haven't seen much from him this series. His average is sitting at .221, and we're looking to turn a double play on the man. And it's Quinn Matthews still on the mound. That one will be hit over to short. It'll make the play to Chacha. Now Chacha has to turn this one on Tatis Jr. Double play. We'll follow that up with a dynamic challenge then, with only a 1-run lead, bottom of the 6th. Chacha Vauzz with no one on. You know what? We're going to go big pitch swinging here on Darvish. He's has some speed to his game, but we've seen a lot more off speed from him. And we'll sit on that slider almost at the toes. And goodbye, baseball. Is that our first time that we've gone big hitting off the foul pole even? Chacha Vauzz will give us some insurance as he cranks that one. 373. I feel like that one would have been a little further perhaps if the foul pole wasn't in the way. Though I'm sure they calculate that into the distance. At least I'd assume. Well, we're going to levitate that bat as we levitate our lead up 2 runs. Oh, Padres, they're battling here. Top of the 7th, back to a 1-run game. Gavin Sheets, he's stepping up here with a man on first. 2 outs. We just need a simple play here. And it's Stephan on the mound here. His second pitch. And that'll be, again, a soft hit ball that somehow rolls by Chacha. I felt like we had a pretty good angle on that one, but I guess it had good enough exit velo. We'll have a dynamic challenge to try to make up for it. As the good news is we have already extended that lead back up to 2, so that fielding mishap is not going to cost us too much. Let's go with the extra base hit here on Brian Hoeing. We just need to get this into the outfield, though they brought him in specifically to face Chacha Vauzz. Try to turn on that one, but finally bringing a little bit of some heat. 97 fastball in the upper inside corner. And Hoeing, he brought his stuff. Strikes out Chacha Vauzz on the 92 sinker. Good pitching there. Gives the Padres a chance here. Top of the 9th. With a runner on second, it's 2 outs. And that one's going to be skied up. Short dropping back. And that will conclude today with another Cardinal win and another series win at that. St. Louis holds on at home to the Padres, taking game number 3, 6-5. It'll be just a short visit to St. Louis, as next time we are back on the road, starting with a 3-game series against the Marlins. Then we return home for 2 series, one against the Atlanta Braves, the next against the Minnesota Twins. As for Chacha Vauzz, he is playing phenomenal, finally getting that call up. The only worrisome spot is the fact that he has 8 strikeouts in 41 at-bats. That's about 1 per 5 at-bats, which is close to 1 a game. Not what you really want to see, but he has 15 hits, 3 of which have been doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. He has 3 stolen bases, hasn't had as many opportunities to get those stolen bases. But he's batting .366. His on-base percentage, also .366. He's not taking any hits, any walks. He's getting exactly what he's hitting. Slugging .634. Most of these have been singles. But the on-base plus slugging is currently at 1,000, so he's doing really well there. And his WAR, if we get all the way down to it, is actually up here now. .7, which is really good for Chacha Vauzz. And honestly, what's even more impressive is the fact that the fielding is also 1,000 right now, so we are doing great on most of our plays. We just have to fix the strikeouts. And to help us try to do that, how about we use some of our points here to continue to upgrade some of that plate vision. We'll get 1 tacked on there, leaving us with 5 points. And we'll get 1 tacked on to power on the left side. And we'll also tack 1 on to our reactions, which will use up all of our points. And that'll have us at a 73. And with no packages to open up, that is where we are going to sit for today. I hope you enjoyed the play of Chacha Vauzz. Leave him some love, as he is really doing a great job up here at the major leagues. I mean, just look at the smile we got from him. All fancied up in that suit and tie. Make sure you stick around by hitting that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit that sub button, and tap that bell icon so you're notified when all these videos go live. We'll be back tomorrow with the Cardinal, and then we'll do it all over again next week. 5 days per week, a lot coming at you. We'll see you around as Chacha Vauzz. We'll be back on the road starting in Miami and then headed back to St. Louis.